Nicolas Cage apparently spent his $150 million national treasure fortune on the most weird things. Of course, the 56 years old made his money by being one of Hollywood's highest paid actors and starring in classic films like Con Air, Face Off, and Ghost Rider. Despite working in Hollywood since 1982, he eventually went bankrupt after spending unspecified amounts of his cash on ridiculous things. According to The Mirror, by 2009, he was drowning in debt and owed the Internal Revenue Service a whopping $6.3 million. By the age of 40, he had spent enough money to bankrupt himself and coincidentally blame his accountant for putting him on the path of financial catastrophe. When it comes to his purchases throughout that time period, some are unquestionably worse than others. The actor paid $300,000 for a 67 million years old Tarbosaurus dinosaur skull. That one would definitely delight the Ross Gellers of the world, but I think I'd rather have a Rolls Royce or something functional for that kind of money. Following that, the actor paid $8 million for an 11th century Bavarian castle in Etzelwang, Germany. If you think that's awful, consider this. He also paid a stunning $7 million on a 40-acre island south of Nassau, which is shockingly less expensive than the castle. Nicholas paid $3.45 million for a spooky property once owned by serial killer Madame Delphine LaLaurie in 2006. He was believed to have owned 15 homes at the same time, including a $25 million beach house in California. Not to mention that Nicholas formerly possessed 50 rare automobiles and roughly 30 motorcycles. One of his most costly vehicles was a Lamborghini he purchased in 1997 for an incredible $450,000. To put things into perspective, that sum in 1997 is likely to be worth roughly $767,000 in today's money. Oh, and he casually spent $1 million on a Ferrari Enzo and had 9 Rolls Royce. It doesn't end there. He formerly owned 4 yachts, the most expensive of which was valued at $20 million. Nicholas also purchased a 9-foot-tall pyramid-shaped tombstone, which he allegedly stated he intends to be buried inside when he dies. So there you have it. Nicolas Cage appears to be a big spender. So, what caused Cage debt? Cage squandered a lot of money on sports cars, private aircraft, and yachts, but it was overpriced and poorly timed real estate ventures that killed his bank account. Aside from his problems, the 58-year-old was involved in public intoxication and divorced his 12-year wife. He was in a 4-day marriage that he entered into while intoxicated. Cage described how studios abandoned him once his films began to fail. The phone was no longer ringing. What do you mean we're not doing National Treasure 3? It's been 14 years. I mean, why not? Sorcerer's Apprentice failed, while Ghost Rider failed to sell tickets. And there was Drive Angry, which came and went. He told GQ about it. I have all these creditors and the IRS, and I'm spending $20,000 a month trying to keep my mother out of a mental institution, and I can't do it. It was all happening at the same time. Even when I was doing 4 movies a year, back to back, I had to find something in them to give it my all. They were all ineffective. Some of them, like Mandy, were fantastic, while others didn't work, but I never called in. So if there was a misunderstanding, it was this, that I was just doing it because I didn't care. I was concerned, he told the publication. Cage believes he never looked on the part he didn't believe in, despite the fact that every role he took helped him avoid bankruptcy. According to GQ, the Oscar winner paid off all of his obligations around a year and a half ago after signing on to The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, in which he plays a fictionalized version of himself. Cage recently stated that he would like to portray Egghead in a sequel to The Batman. I believe I can completely scare him, and I have an idea for Egghead. So let Warner Brothers know that I'm interested in Egghead. According to one tweet, he never ever does anything but his best. As I've stated before, there has never been and will never be an actor like Nicolas Cage, a true master. Nick Cage is the major example of a superb actor who has simply been thrown under the bus by the other people in charge of his movies. Observe another. A third user stated on Twitter, I've always thought he's one of the best performers we've ever had. All it needs is a skilled director to focus his talents. Otherwise, he'll totally inhabit the character as he pleases. Masterful performer, any other viewpoints is deceptive. Meanwhile, people published the first image of Cage as Dracula in Universal's upcoming film Renfield. According to one tweet, people deserve credit for obtaining their first look at Nicolas Cage's Dracula in the upcoming Universal monster film Renfield. I'm really digging what I'm seeing here. It's reminiscent of Christopher Lee's Dracula. First look at Nicolas Cage as Dracula and Nicholas Hoult as his henchman Renfield in the upcoming horror comedy Renfield. another set. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Are you a fan of Nicolas Cage? Let us know in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.